Play that funky music, white boy.
You're speaking my language now.
We're losing! Teamwork, guys, more teamwork. They're burying us alive!
Well, shit.
Jeez, Louie.
Honey, don't you want to beat those bastards? In my book, we're gonna be winners.
Listen, man, you got nothing left inside, huh? Cause you're training like a damn bum, you know that?
Screw them.
What are you doing? What are people doing?
Is this early access to?
Hey, let me tell you something, bro.
Get out there now and do the best you can.
Welcome to episode 3 of the Bad Fodder Figures podcast. This is Captain Mike M. We are the best podcast in the world with 3 episodes. All the other podcasts with more episodes than 3 are better than us, but we are the best 3 episodic podcast. What is going on, gentlemen? We ready to kick this one around a little bit, talk some stuff?
Talk some stuff, man.
Yeah, it's been a busy week.
Lots of stuff.
News-wise and consoles and stuff like that, so we'll jump right into it. I don't know about you guys, but here in the Boston area, it is it is very cold out, gentlemen. My heat is on.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
It's on the street.
Jeremy, do you have your fuzzy pants on with this heat?
Absolutely, yeah.
Proper podcast attire.
Comfy.
Now, Matt, it is raining in your area. Is that correct?
It's raining today. Today, it started raining this late afternoon, evening. It's raining right now. So
Yeah, but
it was
yesterday
very cold the past couple of days.
Very cold, and you were outside, I understand, raking all your leaves up and cutting them all up. Did you have lots of cold weather snot boogers hanging out? I used to have
Luckily,
a lot
no.
of those as a kid.
My nose was running pretty good though, so I was stopping quite often to blow my nose. I don't know what it is, my sinuses and stuff, but they always give me issues. So I'm always blowing my nose and stuff. But yeah, it was cold yesterday. I was out there, had my backpack blower on, blowing all the leaves up and to one area in my yard. Then I took my lawnmower out and chopped the shit out of them to get them all chopped up even smaller. And then I bagged them up, and they're waiting here by the side of the house for a garbage night tomorrow night. It was very cool. It was cold.
I thought you were going to say you're blooming to your neighbor's yard.
All right, that'd be cool.
You know what's awesome is a couple years ago, my one neighbor and I we took the fence down between our houses. It was a wood split rail fence, and it's got it had metal chicken wire in it, for animals and stuff. Well, we took that whole thing down. So now when the wind blows, it does, most of the wind does blow, my leaves into their yard and shit. So it's pretty cool, It does help me somewhat. But normally, I just lawnmower, chop them up with a lawnmower, and boom, done. I don't rake them up. The less effort, the better. That's why I blow them. That's why I chop them up.
Someone isolate that.
Yeah.
You don't wait till they all fall, or you just do it every so often?
Majority of the trees in my yard have fallen. Now, my one neighbor, they have a couple trees that are they're almost green yet. And some of those will fall in my yard and stuff like that. So I'll just have to get out and get the blower out again and take care of those in a couple weeks probably.
Now, did you guys see the nice foliage photo I sent you on Twitter today? So you guys are busting my balls about foliage.
Pretty picture there, Mike.
Thank you.
Beautiful. I didn't know that stuff existed in Boston.
Now, not only are we the best podcast with 3 episodes, but we are a fierce streaming team. And last night we did lots of streaming. And I want to give a quick shout out to Agent Orange and Team Chaos and Bibbs for watching the show and participating. But I think Bibbs was only on at the time, Matt, when you disclosed that you have a Frito-Lay looking toe that stinks. Do you want to go into this at all, or is this?
Yeah, I've got stinky toenails that happen every once in a while, and the one, it looks almost like a burnt Frito. It's not good. It's a bad.
And why is this a birth defect or something? Or why is this?
Do you have a birth defect on your toe, Matt?
I've got plenty of defects on my body, and this is one of them. My right foot is worse than my left foot. It seems like. And
I mean, is it fungus or something? What does it come from? I mean, what does it do?
I don't know. I don't know what the hell it is.
What do they call a foot doctor? Podiatrist?
Yeah. That's what I'm about to say. Have you checked it out or?
Nah, that costs money. It goes.
Deductible.
Okay.
You're just gonna. Is it your big toe?
It is my big toe.
Yeah, so you can't cut that off. You really got to get that looked at because if you cut your
balance.
Yeah, if you cut, you can maybe lose another toe there, but you cut your big toe off, you're doomed.
How am I going to lose a toe because of my toenail? My toe's fine. It's just my toenail that's nasty looking.
But
does anybody else want to point the logic there?
Yeah, it's going to eventually, the toenail's going to infect your toe.
It's been like this for years. It's been like this for years. It ain't going. It's fine.
I put a sock over and ignore it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about a thing.
This is why I don't have open-toed shoes in the summertime.
Oh, okay.
It's because of this toe.
Call me
my left foot's a very beautiful foot. It's all normal toenails on it.
No.
So you do have health care, like with your job and stuff?
Yeah.
Sort of.
So I'm just thinking you could
just
probably pay your little $20 deductible and just go
get off the logic train. Get off the logic train.
Okay,
don't stop at this station.
You're right, Jeremy. I'm off. I don't know.
My insurance, I have one of them. They're high deductible insurances. So I'm responsible for the first $7,500 in medical fees.
I like that your left foot is fine, which is the reasoning why you don't need. Like, one would think that if both of them were that way, that maybe that was normal. But the fact that just one of them should tell you something. But
he has another one.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Can I make the
trust guys? I would send you guys a picture of my toe.
No.
That this wouldn't be all over the fucking place.
Well, it is now.
Not the picture.
So, can I make the quantum leap here that, there's no, sort of toe sex going on? There's no, licking at the toes. Because
licking of the toes.
Right now, the cat's sniffing it.
Jesus.
What are you, airing it out?
I took my sock off so I could explain it better.
I'm getting nauseous over here.
Hey, look, Matt, does it go away and come back? Is it like that, or just does it stay crusty?
No, it stays like that. It's not crusty. It's just it looks like my toenail's been bruised or something. It's just darker than the other ones. And it's thicker.
Okay, but anytime your toenail smells like corn chips or whatever you said, that's a red flag, man.
It doesn't smell like corn chips. It looks like a Frito, burnt Frito.
That's a corn chip, Matt.
I guarantee.
Jeremy, are you writing all these show titles down? It's thicker, smells like a Frito.
Frito, free hyphen toe. Well, I was just thinking, I remember you giving me shit about those few times on DGG when we talked about toenails, and here we are all the way to episode 3 before we're falling back on that.
Well, I think we're kind of just, we're talking at it in a high level Frito sense. I think you guys were actually getting into medical terms and
Yeah. I mean, because it all goes back to Dad getting grounded. What was it? You guys used to talk about what's his name's toe? His dogs used to smell his toes all the time or something.
Damien, yeah,
David, yeah. Now we got our Damien, Matt. Okay, Matt.
Well, that's enough picking on you, Matt. I'm sorry.
We love Matt.
Jeremy, speaking of this guy with his high deductible, and I'm sorry, Matt, we're going to continue piling on. I do apologize. You have made a television purchase, and would you like to educate Devious Mr. Matt on how you go about buying a television?
Well, yeah, and I didn't go balls out because I know you were disappointed about the lack of HDR. But
that's all right. You had a good reason.
Yeah, well, about 3 years ago, we bought a 65-inch Sharp for our main living room area, and it looked, it was one of the deals where we actually went into the store because you kind of got to look at them all to get a real good sense about what it looks like and stuff. And it was the best looking one there. It was a decent price. I want to say it was under $1,000 for 3 years ago, 65-inch. It was a really good deal and all that. And it's been fine up until about some point during the summer. we went to turn it on and it wouldn't come on. The sound would come on, but the screen wouldn't. So you'd have to off and on, off and on, and off and on. After about 15, 20 minutes, the screen would work. We're like, well, probably have to spend a couple $100 to fix it. So we'll just kind of leave it on for a while and, until that, because that was like right before we went to vacation and stuff. And then probably about a month ago, I noticed there's like a black dark area like right towards the top and towards the center that my wife didn't even notice for a while. And now that, of course, we both noticed it, it's like you can't unsee it and stuff. So like, well, we probably should look for a new TV with Black Friday deals and all that. So we went a few weeks ago, went back to the store, looked at the actual ones in the store to see which one looked nice. We picked one out, and I decided just kind of eyeball the price here and there. And this one is a 75-inch. It's an LG because we're never getting Sharp again. And pulled up the phone the other day, and it was on sale for considerably less than even when it was on sale when we first saw it in the store. So I went ahead and grabbed it, placed the order. It'll be here Wednesday. And checked the price again today, and it actually went up $300. So so it was good timing yesterday, I guess.
That's a really good TV too, man.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Wow.
LG.
Yeah. It is 4K. It is not UHD, but like I said, this is in the family room that'll have a Wii U and a PlayStation 3 hooked up to it. So not really necessary to have the UHD.
Well, no, it is
Just
UHD.
like by 720.
HDR. Sorry.
Yeah, it is.
It is 4K.
Yeah, it is 4K UHD, but not HDR. And you said 75 inches, right?
Yes.
That's
Pretty
big.
big, bro.
That's a
Pretty
big TV
big.
to harness.
That
So
is.
and they're going to take away your Sharp. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, we're like, what are we? I mean, we could technically give it to somebody, and it does technically work, but it's like, if you're going to have a TV that big, you're not going to want one that you have to leave on all the time and has a big dark spot on it. That's just not.
Right.
Yeah. So
Sounds like Aaron and his technically working Xbox that he was going to sell.
Unbelievable. Well, that's a good segue there, Matt. The Xbox One X has come out this week. Eric and myself have picked it up. Before I dive in with my impressions, Eric, we're only a couple days now with owning this, and you probably 1 or 2 days less because of Amazon or whatever. But what's your impressions overall?
Well, firstly, Amazon, I guess they tried to make good. I was supposed to get it on the 9th, but I got it on the 8th. It came out on the 7th. But anyway, that's whatever.
That's not bad.
Okay, so I get it, and it's considerably heavier than the Xbox One. I don't know if you noticed that. Did you notice that?
It's 8.4 pounds.
Yeah, it's pretty robust. I would say it's thick. It's tiny though, and it's I think it's smaller than the S.
Just barely. It's pretty close. It's very similar, but yeah, I think technically it is smaller.
You have an S, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, because I have the OG Xbox One, and it dwarfs it. I mean, it looks tiny. My first impression is, well, because I did the setup, through Microsoft on the open Xbox, transferring everything to my external and getting it all set up, and that was kind of seamless. It did take some time though. Some of those files are huge. Those files are humongous, but I did I got all that stuff ready to go, and I downloaded some newer games, but we'll talk about that later. But it seemed okay. And then I plugged it up and plugged the hard drive in, and everything was seamless. Underwhelming though, because it looks just like the Xbox One. I mean, it's only one time, I guess, when you first turn it on that it says something about the X. Other than that, it looks exactly the same menu system, the same, So I was a little underwhelmed with that.
Yeah, I knew that was coming just by listening to other podcasts and hearing the director of marketing for Xbox talking about that, how they wanted to keep it in the same, family of devices. So they didn't want anybody to learn a new UI. I think when you're paying that type of coin, though, it would be nice to have something special when you boot it up. I'm not sure what that exactly would be, but you're right. There was nothing like, wow, this is new. It looks just like what I had a minute ago when I unplugged the other one.
Right. Yeah. And then what I did notice, too, is some of the games, because I loaded up a lot of older games that were Xbox One X enhanced. You have to put those in 4K. I noticed some of the games I had to do that.
Like there's a menu option, right?
Yeah, you had to go to the menu and put it in 4K, and it's I say the Gears of War is about one of the best looking. That in Forza 7, they you can tell the 4K. I mean, you can really see it. But like Super Lucky's Tale, I have that. Bro, cartoon. You really can't. You can't see. It's in 4K, but I mean, like, okay, whatever. It doesn't need 4K. I guess I would say Mario looks about as good as that or better. You know what I mean? So I'm impressed with it so far. Like the Madden looks great. You know, the Forza 7 is probably one of the best looking games I've ever seen in my whole entire life, man. With the when they had the rain effects and all that, it looks fantastic. But I guess I'm waiting to see, you know, the developers push this machine a little bit, because I haven't seen anything really yet that's leaps and bounds, I guess.
So yeah, I mean, I have similar feelings. You know, I tried a whole gamut of games. Madden I thought looked fabulous, but I haven't opened my PS4 copy yet, so I need to compare the two there. But just on the surface, the Xbox One version looked awesome. You know, very fluid characters. You know, nothing. Stifled by the lack of power on the machine. So everything there felt great. Halo, Gears, Quantum Break, those all looked awesome too. I put in Assassin's Creed, the original. While that still looks like an old game, it's still, you could tell that there was some work to it. So, so far, very impressed. Do I think it's like leaps and bounds ahead of the PS4 Pro? It's tough to tell right now because you don't have the games next to each other to do like an comparison. But I don't feel out of the gate that it's huge leaps in front of the PS4 Pro. I think we're going to have to wait until, like you said, developers down the road come out with something that really knocks it out of the park. And that to me feels like the biggest misstep with the launch is they don't have that awesome game to give you that's new and fresh that takes advantage of the whole system.
Right, because Super Lucky's Tale is not it.
No, and Forza 7 doesn't do anything for me, and Cuphead doesn't do anything. That's not this type of. I don't think it's even enhanced, so that's not even a factor. It just feels like they didn't have that. Whether it's Uncharted or Zelda or even Gears or Halo, like a new Gears or Halo, there was nothing there that's like. Wow.
Well, I would say this: if you have EA access, that Battlefront 2, the campaign.
Yes.
Stunning.
Yeah, I did play some of that.
The stunning. It looks ridiculous.
It does. I was a little disappointed with the campaign so far. It just seemed very easy. The first, the half hour.
Getting the girl out to jail.
Right.
Or whatever
I mean, it was. I was practically laughing because it looked like these people went to Ash Wednesday and their whole face was just covered in ashes, when you shoot them in the face with the gun. Obviously it's a laser gun. They're just getting their faces burnt, and they're just like a big gray spot right on their forehead, and then boom, they're on the ground. I want to see what it looks like. I just got to the part now where you're out in was it Endor?
The jungle right. Part, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going through that right now, but that is this week. That comes out this week, so. We'll have that to play on the stream, I assume, at some point. But
now, can you guys tell between your Xbox and your Xbox One, or whichever number you're at now, the menus more snappy or anything? Any speed differences or anything like that? Loading times or anything? Can you tell any differences there?
I can't tell any difference because they just put that update out a little while ago that made everything overall speedier. I will say the load times on Madden and Quantum Break were still longer than they should be, I think, in my opinion. It still took a while to get games like Madden to get actually into the game. You got that football spinning, and they got telling you all this garbage about EA and all this stuff. But yeah, I think
I would say.
Go ahead.
It's a very quiet machine. I'd say that.
Yes. Did you decide to put it upright or lay it flat?
I'm laying it flat.
Yeah, I decided to lay this one flat this time, just because it's such a powerful machine and it's got this cooling in it. I didn't want to block off one of the fans by stacking it up, even though they did give you a base this time around,
right?
Which they didn't do before.
In the box. Yeah.
So I have a question for both of you, which I think I know the answer just based on the number of games that you guys have listed here. But Mike, you had mentioned that you were going to go and play Fallout 3, which is a game that you had never played before on it. And Eric, you said Gears looks this and everything else. But are you guys actually playing legit playing these old games, or are you just loading them up and looking at them and say, hey, that's pretty, and then moving on to something else? Is the increase in graphic quality actually make you want to redo or replay any of those games again just to see it be prettier?
No.
I think I loaded up Tomb Raider for about 30 minutes, and I started over, and I was just doing it to see the differences. I didn't make me want to play the whole game over again now.
I would be into playing more Gears multiplayer. I'd be into playing, the Titanfall 2 multiplayer. But I have a shitload of enhanced games that I've never touched, never played. I just bought Wolfenstein 2, like you said, Fallout 3 I want to check out and play because I never played that. So I just booted up a bunch of these, just to get a sample. And then I also downloaded a bunch of trials for these games. I think Path of Exile has a trial. That Slime Rancher game has a trial. So I got a bunch of stuff that I can go in and kick around and then make a decision. But I think the very first thing I'm going to play on this is going to be Wolfenstein 2.
Yeah.
The only other thing before we move on here, I do feel a little duped, and maybe this is my own fault. I was under the impression that the Project Scorpio edition was going to have etching on the top of it to resemble the OG Xbox. And so
With a big X on the top.
I was convinced that it was going to have something like that. You know what they did? They put that on
the box.
They put it on the box.
Yeah.
But who gives a shit about the box? The box is going to be out the trash in a week.
Switcheroo there.
Oh, now wait a minute. Now you say that, but I was going to save this for later. But this thing's been out for almost a week, and I've seen I don't even know how many pictures of boxes and unboxings and everything like that on Twitter. But I've seen no pictures of screenshots or footage, and that's kind of why I asked the question I just asked, is because everyone seemed really excited about what it came in and how it was heavy and everything else, but I haven't seen hardly anything to showcase hey, this is where my flops are at now. This is what it's doing for me. I haven't seen any of that. Have you guys?
Because I don't think anything's showing that stuff off yet.
What's the obvious answer here that we're not thinking about?
What?
To fucking share a screenshot on the Xbox, it's like an act of God. Oh, you go through all these friggin' hoops.
That's true. That is so true.
Okay, you gotta put out a link there or something like that. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it was just, I think it was Thursday or Friday. I'm like, okay, I've seen enough of these boxes now. Let's actually see what's inside the box and what it's doing. But I'm not seeing any of those.
Yeah. I haven't seen what a base model looks like of this Xbox One X. I'm not sure if it's different than what I have, but so far the only thing I can tell that's different is it says Project Scorpio on the controller and on the top and on the front of the console itself.
Have you noticed how it fades from gray to black on the front of it also?
No, I don't have it looking at me. I have it facing towards the dog's crate, so they're enjoying that, not me.
It fades from. It goes from black on one side, then it goes like a gradient to gray. If you look at it, yeah. I mean, $500. I mean, that's what you get. Yeah.
I don't regret my purchase. I'm looking forward to it, and we'll go from there. I'm sure we'll have more impressions as these shows start to pile up. Before we kick things off into the rest of the show here, Matt, I want to talk about your exploits in Call of Duty and how you're getting this massive XP. What level are you already at?
I believe I'm 35, 36 now.
Do you understand why?
Double XP weekend.
Well, let me just tell you this. They have come out and confirmed that when they launched the game, they launched it with 2 XP active, unintentionally. Ooh. So everyone was getting 2 XP from the launch of the game up until this weekend. And then when they
wait a minute, back up now. I had double XP. I had 2 hours a day of double XP because I did the whole pre-order and Elite.
You were going to get
stuff.
that double XP even if you didn't pre-order. So this is coming right from the head of the studio, Michael Condrey. He says, no sarcasm in my response. We launched with 2XP active unintentionally. Everyone was getting 2XP since 11.3 and up until we made that playlist change late Thursday night, which effectively launched 3XP.
Wow.
So come Monday, tomorrow, when we turn off the XP bonus, it will effectively revert to what we should have had at launch, which is what? 1 XP.
But they're not taking away anybody's stuff, are they?
No. So if you still have pre-order stuff like that kicking around and still time, you'll still have 2 XP.
No, but I mean, like, the people who've leveled up in that with this, 3 times XP
No,
now.
your progress.
No, so he goes on to say, so early players, you got a huge head start. P.S. Positive intent is the spirit of life. Keep it classy. So
awesome.
So
I was wondering why I suck at that game, as you know. So I was wondering why I was like, God damn, I'm already up to level 38. I prestiged my airborne division already. So it's like, man, awesome.
So the struggle is going to be real tomorrow when it goes back to 1 XP. It's going to be a slow burn now.
Well, I got all the stuff I want. I mean, really, there's only a couple guns I use in that thing. That PPS 41, the STG 44, and now.
Do you use the PP when you're out on the yard and blowing it?
Usually it's tucked away. It was curled up. It was curled up yesterday. It was cold. That one, then, since I prestiged the air division, the MP40, I unlocked that, and that's pretty slick too. So
nice.
Yeah.
Before we get to the voicemails, I want to switch things up a little bit and have Matt discuss some terrible topics. Usually we usually here in our long history of shows, we've made him, terrible topics at the end. But just to give Matt some time and doesn't feel like he's rushed, because we all know when he's rushed, a lot of syllables get crunched in there, because he's trying to get a lot of words out. But before we kick things off with the Matt's terrible topics, let's play some highlights from Matt.
Might be women of the night walking around, broadcasting out their anuses. Like 70s Harry. Oh, look at that! Burn it up! I'm right down to the fucking fan. Adult toys, sex crime or sexual assault, vaginas. Jesus fucking Christ!
All right, who's got the GPS on the rub and tug? You have to go back and add something about his toes in there now, though.
Yeah. Corn chips.
Oh my gosh!
That was awesome.
That's Matt's podcast career summed up in 25 seconds.
Yep. It's a past 7 years right there in that 20-second clip. Well, I've got a couple topics here that are much, much better than last week's. You guys gave me a lot of shit about last week's, but I got a couple good ones here. This is in Omaha, Nebraska. A Nebraska man has been sentenced to 4 years in prison for sending prostitutes to strip on his neighbor's front porch, dozens of times over a 3-year period. Says that the Omaha World Herald reports that 45-year-old Douglas Goldsberry of Elkhorn was sentenced Friday in Douglas County District Court after pleading no contest in September to pandering. Authorities say Goldsberry hired prostitutes to bare their breasts and strip on his neighbor's porch while he watched from his house. The family with 2 small children reported that women had shown up as many as 75 times since 2013, exposing themselves and sometimes kicking the door and yelling for payment. Goldsberry has also been indicted in federal court for possession of child pornography and faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted of that. That's a hell of a neighbor there, man. Sending prostitutes come over and strip on your porch. I like that.
So is that like, I'm sure maybe one of you guys have done this when you were, a teenager, or maybe even Matt did it last week. You call up a delivery for a pizza and you send it to someone, and they're like, what the hell is this? And then they're on the hook for the pizza. Is that like sort of like this? Like the other guy didn't want the prostitutes, but he was calling them anyways?
Just so you can watch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know There's a lot to be desired to the story here. Is there a neighbor dispute going on there? And so this guy's like, I'll show them. I'll send prostitutes and strippers for the house.
Well, let me ask the hard-hitting question here. You know, what's that line? You know, fool me once. You know, something like that.
Shame on me.
You fool me twice. So 75 times you go to that guy's door?
Yeah, 75
how many times does it take?
I mean, no one is paying them, right?
Apparently not. I mean, you figure at some point a pimp's going to show up and want some payment or something, or you know, these prostitutes or strippers are going to stop coming unless he finds fresh ones.
They stop coming. All right.
Yeah, they're all worn out.
Yeah.
So very very kindly neighbor there.
Well, I'm thinking of that. Jeremy, can you give me your address?
Yeah.
Well, that'd be good.
Yeah. Just wait. Just do it after in the evening, so I'm home.
All right.
And the night that his wife's in school.
She takes school at home, right?
Her office is right by the front door. That's not not going to help.
Well, that's not good then.
Maybe some of those ladies from what's that Legs and Eggs place you guys would go to? The Tilted Kilt.
Tilted Kilt.
That's gone. It's gone.
Maybe they're out of business. That's what I'm saying. They need some work
for jobs now, Jeremy. So.
Yeah, they're probably already on their way to Nebraska. Was it Nebraska? Is that where that one was?
Yeah,
Nebraska. What the hell else are they going to do out there? Jesus.
Have you guys ever been to Nebraska?
Out there.
Absolutely. I've been to Nebraska a lot.
I've not been in Nebraska.
I played one time in Lincoln, which is where the university is. And the university was out of school at the time. But we played this club, and literally, like, right around the corner was, like, a sex shop and shit like that. That was a little fun before the show.
Nice.
All right, what's your next topic there, Matt?
Here, we got another one here. A Russian man claims he was born on Mars before being reborn on Earth.
Hey, Putin.
Boriska Kipriyanovich, 21.
Yeah. Say that again?
That's it, Matt. Spell it.
Claims he lived on Mars in a previous life until there was a war, wiping out all life on the planet in the distant past. His parents claim that he has spoken about alien civilization since he was a young boy, despite them never teaching him about the matter. He claimed that he had visited Earth while working as a pilot on Mars and that they had close connections to ancient Egyptians. It says here he made a prediction that life on Earth is going to change significantly when the Great Sphinx of Giza is unlocked using a mechanism behind its ear. You know, I guess you guys know that right there by the pyramids there in Egypt, that cat-looking thing.
Yes.
Apparently, there's something behind the ear. He scratched his ear, and something's going to happen. He now lives in Volgograd, Russia, after being reborn on Earth, and first made his unfounded and unproven claim several years ago. However, he has continued to mystify people and cause great curiosity among conspiracy theorists and UFO hunters. Giving an insight into Martian life, he said that people from Mars stop aging at the age of 35 and are immortal. Speaking about the great Martian nuclear war, he said, "No, I have no fear of death, for we live eternally. There was a catastrophe on Mars where I lived. People like us still live there. There was a nuclear war between them. Everything burnt down. Only some of them survived. They built shelters and created new weapons." He added that they grow to about 7 feet tall, can breathe carbon dioxide, and still live on Mars, but are now underground.
So I want to ask the obvious question here. Mm-hmm. This guy, was he anywhere near Chernobyl?
It's quite possible. Quite possibly. He, that and combination of vodka or something there made him a little delirious. He might be a special one, that's for sure.
He had a lot of subject matters in there. He had a lot. He hit a lot of points.
Yeah. It says here his mother believes she knew he was special from the age of just a couple of weeks when he was able to hold his own head up unassisted. He's special, all right.
So did his mother, was she from Mars too, or she just?
I guess not. I guess his kid. I guess he's
It's sort of like Superman, they just showed up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. Go to the Sphinx and rub its ears and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Matt. I'm very enlightened now.
Yeah, I like to bring real news to the world. These are all real news topics here.
No fake news from Matt. Yeah.
No fake news. I never give you fake news.
Well, we're going to get into some voicemails. Matt, can you pick up the phone for me?
Ring, ring. Hello. Hello.
And
Are you the operator?
I'm long distance, sir. Overseas, may I help you? Directory assistance, may I help you, please?
Hello. Hello again. Hello. Hello again.
All right, we got some voicemails this week. We actually have quite a few. One gentleman left a bunch, and we're going to jump into those right now. What's so funny?
just tell him to shut the fuck up now.
Yeah.
All right. Let me find him here on my handy-dandy machine. Here we go.
Gamers in well, shit. That's canceled. Over, right? And I'm not Fred French. Sorry.
All right.
What's up, guys? Right now I'm drinking a nice, this one's canceled too. Yikes.
Is this the guy from Russia?
Hey, what's up, dads? This is, oh crap, that show's done too, huh? Hey, Bad Fodder Figures, Indio Techno here. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
I'm out.
Want to congratulate you guys on the new
Hang up.
show. It's going great. Glad to hear everybody kind of getting back into the water here. Liked hearing all you guys in your separate shows, but can't wait to see what this one turns out to be. So keep up the good work. I'll keep on listening. Talk to you later. Bye.
All right. Thank you.
Short and sweet. Indio Techno.
Awesome.
Yeah, Aaron's cool.
Make sure that phone number works for us.
Yeah.
Yes. What's the phone number, Matt?
508-659-BFFS.
Nice. On point. Let's see who else we got on this phone line here.
What's up, guys? It's Awaken Heathen. Here with my wife, Amber, and we're going to have a baby tomorrow, so yeah!
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations,
Wow.
bro.
And our dog was talking at the beginning there. If you heard a little rah, 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 rah. But anyway, so, yeah. There's supposed to be something about Jupiter and Venus or something, I guess.
Mars.
At the
We
same
just
time
talked
we're
about
having the baby, so that's kind of cool, I guess.
Maybe you should call back and have like 2 or 3 beers in your system because you're hilarious leaving voicemails.
Well, maybe we're going to the bar tonight, so maybe we'll.
She's
because we're
pregnant.
gonna
She's supposed to
have
call
our
Wait, whoa. She's going to the bar
as
tonight?
a
Yeah.
one parent or one child parent.
Sounds like they've already
So
been there.
maybe I'll call back then. So, well, I mean, you guys will probably be doing the podcast by then, anyway. But anyway, so yeah.
Well, there was a
that
lot
little
going
purr?
on there.
I don't.
Did someone just purr?
And you know, I mentioned last episode about the Google translation. This one, I read to my wife, and she's like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "I don't know. I can't wait to hear what this one's about." And it was actually pretty much right on point.
Well, thank you, Chase, and congratulations, man.
Yeah, congrats on.
Yeah. Open name the kid.
And his
Matt,
wife sounds.
Jeremy, Mike, Eric.
His wife sounded in good spirits to be having the baby like tomorrow. That's great.
Yeah, she's
shit.
going to go to the bar, too. Just send that baby off in style.
Sure, he got her epidural or something.
Something.
All right,
Wow.
who's next here?
Awesome.
Hey, what up, Bad Fodder Figures? It's your homie Chalfie. I just wanted to say, really loving the show. You guys are doing a great job. I do have one, serious concern.
Matt?
Is Matt always going to be sober? Or, what's up with that? Because I don't like when he talks in complete sentences or just, is kind of making logical sense. So if we can get back to him just being drunk, that would be fantastic if he could just do that for me and probably everybody else. But all in all, loving the show. Keep it up.
See, here's the deal. When we stream on Saturday nights, Matt is shit-faced. Sunday nights, he's got to go to work tomorrow.
Last night. I was drunker and shit last night. I had a hangover this morning.
Yeah.
I was watching y'all last night too, man. It was very funny. I was
Out
at
of
work
control at
watching.
some points.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It was fun. So much fun.
It was.
Stupid
Hey, what's
Wildlands.
up, guys? It's Corey, also known as the Slacker156. I forgot that was my name on iTunes. It used to be my old Xbox Live gamer tag. But I just want to say, great second episode. I also want to say, Mike, you are like my voice on that show. I'm sitting here listening to the show. I'm listening to all the other guys talk on certain subjects, and I'm like yelling back at the radio by myself like a crazy person. And then like seconds later, you say exactly what I just said. So kudos on that, Mike. You have great taste. And I just wanted to touch on two subjects real quick. First of all, the GameStop rentals. Fuck GameStop. It is known how I feel about GameStop. Those rentals, bad for the industry. If they gave a shit about the games industry, they would rent new games and actually give the developers a cut, but instead they only use used titles, so they end up getting all the dough. And that's going to put small developers out of business. And second of all, as far as the PlayStation's response to the Xbox One X, Mike, I think you were right on the money. Instead of trying to talk about the hardware, they are just going to focus on their library of games and how their library is so much larger than that of the Xbox One right now. But I think that's what they're going to do. I mean, who cares? Just like Eric said, who cares if you've got a Ferrari and you're going to put Walmart tires on it? Like, who gives a shit? You could have, like, the beefiest hardware around, and if you got no games to play, who cares? Oh, and I just wanted to say that Really Beefy would have been a great second episode title. But keep up the great work, guys. Love the show. Later.
All right, there's a lot to digest there. So Corey is the Slacker156, so that means I need to get in touch with him for his prize. I didn't know who that was. And there's one other guy out there that still hasn't claimed his prize. His name is Why Not Guitar. So whoever that is, get in touch with us by whatever means necessary. Jeremy, any sort of retort to his statement about GameStop and new game rentals?
No, I mean, I went back and listened to the episode after he called in, and I kind of mentioned it then, but I believe his suggestion was that they should only rent out new games, and then they should also give developers a cut, which, I mean, I'm no GameStop apologist by any means, but at the same time, like, I don't expect them to have any different rules or regulations than anyone else, because I know Redbox doesn't. You know, they don't have to do that. They can just buy brand new ones, and then as soon as somebody rents it, it's a used game, and you know, they're just basically doing the same thing as a Redbox. They're just running a Redbox out of their store. So I don't really, you know, think that they're the ones ruining the industry with this or anything like that, because other places, video stores have been renting out games for years. They buy them new, then they rent them out used. So
do we know if that process has remained the same? Because, you know, a mom and pop back in the 80s, maybe it was different. No one thought about licensing to this extent. Do you think Redbox has to pay? Because they have so many locations, right, across the U.S. You think they're just buying these movies or games, you know, for a discount, and then they're putting them in their boxes? Or do you think they have to pay a larger sort of licensing fee or something like that?
Well, games, I'm not entirely sure. I can tell you that for movies, a lot of times studios will actually charge places that rent things more. I worked at a video store for about 5 years back in the 90s, and I know that you know, as a consumer, you can go into a Sam Goody or whatever back then and buy a DVD for $20, but the actual videotapes and all that, those were in the neighborhood of $60, $70, $80 sometimes. So because they had to buy them direct from, you know, a place that basically knew, hey, you're going to be making money off this, so we're going to charge you what we can. So
you
games work that way.
You think developers jack up the prices? No.
It's possible. I mean, again, I'm speaking that I know that for a fact for movies it was different. Even if games is the same, though, I mean, Redbox, you know, how many thousands of copies of you know, like COD are they going to buy? They're going to buy a lot, right? And you know, they're renting them out at how many was it? $2 a night?
Something like that, yeah.
3 now.
Yeah, so they'd have to rent each disc out for a straight month just to get their money back. Then they sell the stuff back, and then you put in, you know, maintenance, up costs, all that. So I mean, I don't think it's, you know, Redbox is making money hand over fist with renting out games. I really don't think GameStop will be either. If anything, it's just going to be people not buying games that they otherwise probably wouldn't like, or wouldn't get hoodwinked by something that they thought was good, and then this way they can try it out first.
Yeah,
I bet you the the publisher like Activision doesn't see any more money because of Redbox. Because I think Activision probably negotiates a deal with the distributor, right? I mean, this is sort of how like the record label industry works. You know, like we had our label, but they had a distributor that put us in all different sorts of stores, and like, so I don't think Activision is, you know, negotiating with Redbox. It's whoever their distributor is, and then the distributor negotiates with Redbox, and I think Activision gets whatever cut the distributor they've negotiated. You know, so it's probably way above our thinking of how this financial crap works, but
true. And I just don't think it's going to be the death knell of the video game industry, because GameStop decides to rent like other places already have been for decades.
But do y'all agree that some games are rented more than they're purchased, right? Because like Call of Duty, people would buy that more so than rent it. Do you think?
I agree with that statement. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got people like yourself that are on the fence about the franchise.
Right.
You know, maybe the last 3 years haven't really been your cup of tea. Do I want to spend $60? Let me go check it out. You know.
Right.
Yeah. You know. I think. You know, last week I took a strong stance on it. I still feel that way. But just like the music industry had to adapt to iTunes, Spotify, I think you're going to see the same change in the games industry. They're going to have to adapt now with the digital thing. If GameStop comes out with this, they're going to have to find other ways to bring in revenue. And I think that's why you're seeing some of these smaller games developers doing like the limited run type stuff. You know, they're looking at other ways to bring in revenue to sort of circumvent what they might have lost in other areas that they, you know, were used to bringing in income. So, what else was he talking about? Anything else we didn't mention? We cover all his points. I think so.
I think so.
All right. So I think we have one person left. Who do we think that is?
And then that celebrity Fred French.
Kevin Ketchup.
What is up, gentlemen? The one, the only, Fred French, checking in, episode 3. Yes, indeed, we're marching on. All right, guys, let's get right to the point of why I'm calling this week. I got to ask, guys, when you play online, you know, to be Xbox Live, PlayStation, even the PC, do you ever go outside your little clique and see who's out there playing and just try to interact with the wilds that are roaming out there? You kind of stay locked in. You know, the other day I was on, I thought, well, you know what? There has to be other like-minded gamers out there like me playing, so let's give this a try. Yes, indeed, I ran into someone who failed their audition for American Idol, so they thought that perhaps maybe I could get them to stardom, and they thought they would sing to me. Thunderstruck, yeah, you bet. I'm not here to listen to you sing while I'm playing a game, okay? Stop your singing, do the objective of the game, and let's have fun. No, they thought they would sing. Then the next guy comes along. Well, his whole life dream is to be a DJ, and he's playing music for me the whole time I'm trying to play. I've never heard this music in my life. It's like a cross between opera, rap, and country. What in the world are you playing? I don't want to hear what you're playing, and you're trying to like hum to it, sing to it also. Look, let's just, again, play the objective and have fun. And then, then you always meet someone who thinks they want to play, and you find out they're of the younger age. Now, I have no age discrimination here. If you're younger and you want to play and do the objective, I'm all for that. But I don't need to hear your mother busting into your bedroom screaming at you for playing ultra-violent video games that, hey, excuse me, parents, but you bought for your children in the first place, and telling them to clean up their room and that you just made them chocolate milk and to come down and eat. Again, not what I'm looking for in my multiplayer games. So I'm just wondering, guys, if you just keep a tight clique and don't ever go outside of your little homie group, or do you sometimes unleash the gates and let the wilds come in? Can't wait to hear your answer, guys. And as always, arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Well, Matt, you have a technique for this, don't you?
I do. It went into effect with the latest Call of Duty again, where I will create a party, and I will sit in my own party and stew while playing Call of Duty, so I don't have to hear all the other morons and stuff out there, and people playing their radios and music and stuff, and talking about my mom and people of different races and stuff like that. So Yeah, I do that a lot.
I got to ask you, does the mute all didn't work for you?
That's too much work. It's just much easier to just say create a party and I'm in a party. Yeah.
I want to know. I want to know why, Mike, you're playing your old band's music to Fred French when he's trying to play a game.
Well, I still get royalties from CD Baby. They send me,
all right,
all right. Yeah, I think along the lines of Matt, I don't really venture out too much. I mean, I do play Call of Duty when I'm not playing with Matt or anybody else. I'm playing against other people and with other people against the other team, but I mute them all. As soon as I hear one person start talking, bam, mute.
Now, Jeremy, you're. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
I think it's just a touchpad on the PS4 and then the mute all. I think that's how you.
I haven't even looked into that. To do that part of it. So,
do you have to do it every match, or does it retain?
No,
it?
just one time. I mean, you have to do it every time you boot up the game. But as long as if you're on for like an hour, it just remembers that.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll do that next time. I'll try that. Now, Jeremy, you're the complete opposite, right? Jeremy, you especially during PUBG, you like to hear all the jibber jabber going on in the plane and stuff.
Well, that's only for PUBG. Like in other stuff, I'll generally do what you do with the party thing. I don't like, and that's the thing. Fred asked, do we actually try to interact with them? Because you get all the jerks and everything else and all that. But like, I don't actually go out of my way to try and talk to people or whatever or anything like that. Now PUBG, the reason why I have it on though is because, and I don't know if this is intentional. You guys, I don't seem to get it or whatever, but whenever someone is nearby, and I don't know if it's with their settings or whatever, like you can hear what they're saying when you're actually playing the game. So I leave it on just so I have an advantage, quote unquote, to be able to hear when someone else is near or what's going on. Because I know one of those early nights where we heard that guy giving away his PayPal account information and all that stuff. But yeah. So I mean, the beginning part of any match is terrible because that's when you get the China #1 and all the nonsense and N-words and everything like that. But that's usually about 20, 30 seconds, whatever. But then the rest of the time, it's just more of a tactical reason. But everything else, I all other games, I pretty much ignore everyone.
Now, if you can hear them, can they hear you?
No. Because mine's set to push to talk, and I don't push the button down.
And they just leave their channel open.
I'm guessing, yeah, because but it seems pretty consistent to being able to hear them.
Gotcha. Now, what about you, Eric?
Yeah, I play with randos from time to time. It depends. And I'm like you. If I hear a kid or somebody being stupid and calling me the N-word constantly, I just turn them off.
I wish I could be so. Just turn them off. Usually, if someone's like really racist, I say a few things to them and then boom, come off.
That just gets them fired up.
I know, but I can't take it. I really can't take it.
I'll just say whatever.
Tom, you can punch your way out of a wet paper bag, and if I was in front of you, you'd be shitting your pants right now.
Yeah. But sometimes you can find people that's cool to play with.
What I find the most enjoyable is when you watch streamers play PUBG. Whether it's Dr. Disrespect, Sequisha, or whoever, and they play with randoms, that is the best entertainment as possible because, a lot of times the people who are playing with Dr. Disrespect don't know who he is at first, and they realize, shit, I'm getting like 20,000 Steam friend requests, and like, what's going on, and then all of a sudden they realize they're like broadcasting in front of 30,000 people, and they get, freaked out. That's good entertainment. I can't think of the last time I actually played something where I cooperatively tried to play with someone that I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of that myself.
360 days, maybe.
I can't remember the last time I played, like Ghost Wildlands or some other, Destiny or something like that, where I just played with random people.
You didn't just like hop into Horde mode and Gears with just whoever popped in there? You only played with people you know?
Yeah, I've played Horde mode very little, and anytime I've ever played it, it's been with, people like Jay or yourself or Corey, Tino, stuff like that. So
I played Overwatch yesterday with a bunch of randoms. There you go.
Yeah, I think with Fortnite, we have played with randoms to fill out the party.
Yes.
And because we're in a party and they're not, it's been unsuccessful. A few times we've had people follow along with us, and we sort of done like the sign language thing, like jump or go this way, you know. And that's worked out okay at times, but for the most part, it hasn't worked out. All right, let's move along here again. If anybody wants to leave a voicemail, 508-659-BFFS. That's all the voicemails for this week, but we do have some questions from the listeners. We got Bibbers, who has written in via Discord. He says, what do you guys figure the average longevity of a good game should be? 1 year, 6 months? I know I have several games that hold my attention for a few months, but then die off when the next big thing comes along. So let's hear it, longevity, and how can developers keep the community engaged? So at first, I would assume he's not talking about single-player games because, you know, those have 10 to 16, 18 hours, and then you're done with them. So I assume he's talking games like Battlefront, Destiny, Division, Fortnite, things like that, right?
Yeah.
We're under that assumption. So let's try to tackle this bit by bit. What do you think, on average, guys, for a $60 title that the primary focus is online? You know, what should be the longevity? What's to really feel like you got your $60 worth?
Well, I think with a game like Call of Duty, you're looking until the next release, so you know, a year or something like that. But I think realistically, I think most people probably 6 months starts to die down, you know, and then they're on to something else or something, or they may pick it up in the middle of summer again and play some more or something like that. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Now, you think of it more in days and weeks and months than hours. So if I broke it down to you and said, well, Matt, you got 100 hours of entertainment for Call of Duty, and that 100 hours was spread over 6 to 8 months, it works out the same for you?
But, sure, yeah. I mean, it's a perception thing, what people think is worth to them and what their money's worth and game time and stuff like that, I suppose. But I mean, you got games like the Division, which is still putting out content, right? And Fortnite, they're doing the whole seasonal thing. They got the Halloween thing going on right now. I'm sure they'll do something for Christmas and that. So developers are trying to make those games still fresh and relevant. And same thing with, again, back to Call of Duty or Battlefield 1 with the release of map packs throughout the year to try and keep games relevant. So it could be a very good lengthy yearly game.
Yeah, I think it all goes down to the developer and how they keep the game fresh. Like I haven't stopped playing Overwatch since it came out. So I mean that's been a couple years now. So I don't know. It's just they always doing something, adding new characters, adding new content. I don't know. I think it's just what they do to keep it fresh.
Yeah, because I'm the same way with Heroes of the Storm, which is also Blizzard, and it's it's every 4 or 5 weeks they put out something new.
Right.
Warframe's another one where they have even if they just add a couple weapons or something like that, they're putting out new content every month. I think something like that where it's more regular and frequent content as opposed to something like Destiny that's we're going to have a big update every 4 months. So for it, initially, there's going to be a lot of people playing it for the first couple of weeks, but then once everyone's bled that thing out, then they just kind of go away to other things. So,
let me ask you it a different way. We're all gearing up for Battlefront 2 this week. Have you got it yet, Matt?
I have not gotten it yet.
Are you getting it, or no?
I'm thinking about it. I got a $20 Best Buy rewards card, so I'll probably go ahead and use that to get it.
All right, so let's talk Battlefront 2 for a second here. If we all play it for 3 to 4 months, let's say, and get anywhere between 80 to 100 hours worth of entertainment, and then after 3 to 4 months, things kind of peter out. Do you feel like that's a failure?
No.
Not
at all.
No, because I'm getting that game specifically to play with people I know. Not to say I won't jump in with randoms once in a while, but something like that, I'll play as long as I have friends who are wanting to play it as well. And it's not something like if I play that for 2 months, I'm not playing only that for 2 months because that's not the type of game or the type of thing I'll play like a single player would.
So what would we consider a failure? Something that didn't do its job? Something that, like, you finish the content all within a month, and then you're left waiting, 3 to 4 months for new content? I'm trying to figure out like what would we consider something like they sort of left you high and dry and they got your $60 and nothing really after the initial playing the content. There was nothing more to do.
I think you're looking at something like the Order 1889, where it was a game and that was it.
Well,
there
that's
was nothing that came out after that.
That's a single player. I think that's a little different. We knew that was just going to be a story, right? I'm thinking of games where it's just going to be online mostly. People aren't buying Call of Duty for the campaign, right?
Correct.
Right. Like, people aren't buying Playboy to read the articles. Same type of thing, right?
But I think it depends on the individual at that point, because some people will play Call of Duty until the damn world comes to an end, back to back to back to back to back. To me, that bores me after a while.
Right.
So I think it's the individual.
I think it's definitely individual. I think the question is suited for people that don't buy a lot of games. So I know a lot of guys, they buy 2 to 3 games a year. So they're looking
like Madden and something else, right? Yeah.
They're looking to get their $60 to stretch a long way. They have the expectation, all right, I gave you $60. I expect you to support this game well into like a year or more. Where I might spend the $60 on a game and put 100 hours into the Division, and I feel like I got more than $60 worth of entertainment out of that.
I think the failure of that is something that we don't see as often, because I think when I think of failure in that type of situation, I'm thinking of Evolve. So it's something where you have to have other people playing, or else that game it doesn't work. And, with something like The Division, it's nice to have other people there, but there's also some single player content or some content that's technically multiplayer that you could do with either by yourself or maybe one other person, so that having that population isn't necessary. Like COD, you could not play COD if there weren't other people playing it. So in that case, I think that's a lot harder for that to fail, or even Battlefront or whatever, versus Evolve or something like that. Battleborn is another one I think that comes to mind, where there's just not a lot of people playing it, which I would say those are kind of failures in what they set out to do.
Right. So his last part was, how can developers keep the community engaged? And you're talking about games like Evolve and Battleborn. They just didn't have the staying power. I don't know about you can put out as much DLC as you like, but if people don't like the game, if it's not a good game, you got to have something, some sort of special magic right off the front to like get people to say, hey, this is going to be the game that I align myself with, and this is when people think of me as a gamer, this is the game they think of. So like, let's take for instance, we talk about Meef J. If you thought about him for a second, you would think Destiny and Overwatch, right? Those are like the 2 games that he plays. Forza. So there's people out there that align themselves to certain franchises. You didn't see a lot of people say, yeah, Battleborn is my game, Evolve is my game, and now we're seeing that with Lawbreakers, right? It just there's just not people there to play it. So his question is, what can developers do to keep the community engaged? I think the first thing they got to do is really have something compelling right off the bat that people are going to, I don't want to say identify with, like, people identify with music, but something that's really going to grab them and say, hey, this is the style of game I like. And then I think from there, they got to keep putting out content. They got to give you some free stuff. They got to do like Matt enjoys the holiday stuff, right, Matt? So you like when developers do the Christmas and Halloween stuff. I think they got to give you that stuff for free, and then eventually, try to get some more money from you later on for a big expansion.
Sure.
I think
that's the World of Warcraft model. They got the base game, and throughout the year they get all types of little events and stuff like that, and then once a year they come out with an expansion pack that you pay $30-$40 for, whatever, and you're good to go for a whole other year in that game.
Now, does anything social media wise keep you guys invested into games? So let's say, Jeremy, with Hearthstone, if you follow them on Facebook, you follow them on Twitter, does that help you keep playing because they get news out in front of you, or you feel that they're active and that makes you want to go back and play the game more?
I would say probably not with Hearthstone, because their expansions are probably 9 months to a year between. But something like Warframe, I would say, yeah, just because, like I said, they have content probably every single month. And if they put together like a nice little video, if it's a new weapon, here are the pros and cons of this weapon, or this is what it's used for. And if it's something that, hey, that looks like something I want to try out, then yeah, I'll go home that night or the next night and see what I need to do to get that weapon and try it out.
Yeah,
I think.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike. Well,
I was going to say, I feel the same exact way about Fortnite with their constant updates, the constant information they give you on Twitter about stuff. You know, like I didn't know, like all of a sudden the Bush thing that we're going to talk about in a little bit was active. It's on Twitter, and then boom, it's like, not only is it active, you know, not only are we doing this, but it's active right now, so go try it out, you know.
I think Blizzards are masters at keeping people engaged because, you know, I play Overwatch a lot, and what they do is every so often they bring out, each character has a story, an animated short. And it's on YouTube and everything. You can watch them, and you can watch about. They don't give you everything at once. They tell you about this whole story and the whole Overwatch team, and I mean it's engaged. The whole thing is, and it all ties back together. It's fantastic, and that's what I think they do to keep people, you know, coming back for Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, good question, Bibbers. You know, curious, you know, you asked a question. Maybe at some point you can reply back and let us know what the longevity for you, what are your expectations when you pay a $60 game. This next one really isn't a question. It's more of a comment around 4K gaming. This comes in from Holy Goalie. He says, playing games in 4K on the PS4 Pro is great, but now when I play on my Xbox S, it looks blurry. As stupid as that sounds, so yeah, now I'm going to look into an Xbox X at some point to keep everything the same graphically across both platforms. The struggle is real, as they say, but once you play in 4K, there really is no going back. Enjoying the new show. I think a lot of it also has to do with the TV you have.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing too. Yeah,
because I can play stuff on the S on, you know, both of my 4K HDR TVs and feel fine. But yeah, there is something to be said, you know, like Matt says, once you sit in first class, you're not going back to, you know, to coach, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know about that because I play on the Switch big screen. It's 1080, whatever, I guess,
right?
And it's just fine. And I think I'm into the gaming, not. I mean, the looks is great. I like the 4K, but I don't need Mario in 4K.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing games for over 3 decades now, and I've had every emotion from laughter to joy to tears and everything else. Not one of those has been in a 4K TV, and I don't. I think no matter what the game, like even Doom's probably like the prettiest and smoothest running game that I've played in a really long time. But after a while, you know, you stop caring about how nice something looks or whatever because you're actually into the game at that point, and it doesn't matter as much those extra that little bit of extra fidelity from 1080 to 4K or 720 to 1080 or whatever. Like if the game is good enough, that does not matter.
Well, let me put it into like relationship, you know. She might have a cute butt. She might have, you know, nice breasts and everything like that. And, you know, but, you know, you get to hang out with her for a week and there's no substance there, right? So you got a good-looking game. You play it for a few days and the mechanics suck. The story's not compelling. Well, the graphics only, you know, got you in the door and then there was really nothing to keep you around. So things can look great, but there's got to also be something there to keep you coming back and playing the game. Although I got to admit though, if this makes me shallow, I really have a hard time being a retro gamer, and I know that's going to make Corey drive off the road right now, and it's going to end our relationship. But it's one of the reasons I had no interest in getting those. You know, the NES Classic and the SNES Classic.
Those throwback Nintendos, yeah.
I can't. You know, about as far back I can go is about 360 games. You know, I popped in Assassin's Creed. I'm going to play Fallout 3 on the X. You know, that's about my limit. I really can't. And if that makes me a terrible person, then so be it.
No, it doesn't.
No, because I don't think a lot of that is the graphics. I think a lot of that is the games aren't as good. Yeah, I mean, it's neat to play those games, but, you know, 10 minutes into Super Mario Brothers 3, are you really like, man, I got to finish this? Or are you just like, that was a nice trip down memory lane. Now I'm going to go see what else is on this thing, you know? And that's why I never bought into any of those either. It doesn't make any of those games any less or anything, but it's just I've moved on. I've moved past those things. I'm ready for newer stuff.
Yeah, I'm not loading up the Intellivision to get some gaming in. But what I will say is this. Like one of the best games I've ever played in my whole entire life is Resident Evil 7 in VR. Now that is not even close to being 4K nothing, but it's the atmosphere and the immersion of it. It has nothing to do with really how it looks. You know what I mean? It looks, it doesn't look sharp at all, but it's fantastic. So I don't think I need to play anything of, you know, high resolution. If it's a good game, it's a good game.
Yep.
All right, let's move on, guys, and talk about what we've been playing. Eric and myself already have mentioned a lot of the Xbox One X stuff, so we don't need to rehash that. But let's hear about, you know, other stuff people have been playing. Matt, you want to go first?
Yeah, I talked a little bit here before. Call of Duty. Now, since I'm getting like that triple super duper XP that I didn't know I was getting, I just thought I was doing something right. Yeah. Playing more Call of Duty, mostly team deathmatch. We need to try the that war mode.
Good
sometime.
God!
Yeah, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Oh, now you got me going.
Give him his cape.
Jackie Chan.
But I'm having fun. I suck at that game though. It's horrible. I'm bad at that.
I've been doing pretty good.
Yeah, you have. You've been doing real good, and you get excited there when you get doing good. So
my KDR is roughly around 1. I think just a little shy of 1, which is
like
good for me.
Mine's like 0.58 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm still playing it. It's the amazing thing, though. I still play. I get pissed off. I keep playing it. It's nice little stress reliever of a game, though.
So you guys don't even fire up the campaign with like Josh Duhamel and all that? It's not good, man.
We had, you know, this weekend, you know, we had to do the whole stream with everybody. But the plan, I think, the next time that Jeremy can't make the stream, or if yourself can't make it, if it's just going to be Matt and myself, we're going to stream the campaign because that's in co-op.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Or some zombies, or that war mode.
Yeah. Or maybe we'll fire up the NAC 2 demo and stream that.
There we go.
Just kidding.
So yeah, mainly Call of Duty, but I've whipped out my 2DS here and played some more of that Zelda Link Between Two Worlds and some Super Mario Brothers on that. And then I found a neat little slot machine game for my phone called Quick Hits Slots. It's the same like slot machines that I play at the casino. So.
You're like my mom. My mom slot machines on her iPad.
It's the same machines I play at the casino, so it's pretty cool.
How much did you shed a tear when we destroyed all those slot machines in Ghost Recon last night?
I was hoping to sit down and put a couple pennies in a couple of them slots there, but no. Mike said, I hate slot machines, and next thing you know, there's all gone. Being shot up and shit. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, we did play that last night, too. That was a lot of fun. Streaming that, some Ghost Wildlands there. That's pretty good. We had worked out pretty good for the most part.
Yes. I had some struggles getting in and out of boats and stuff, but we won't talk about that.
And flying helicopters.
Yeah. That was the first time I've played that game since the beta, so it's been a while. The beta.
Jeremy. The beta.
Yes, good job.
Jeremy was running around with Enzio from...
it's great. Teabagging?
Teabagging people and, healing people and stuff. It was crazy.
So speaking of phone, Matt, I'm getting a lot of emails with Words for Friends 2. They are making a blitz on this. I didn't know it was such a huge thing, but is anybody playing that yet?
Words for Friends 2? Did they invent new words or something?
I don't know, but I am getting inundated with emails to play that.
Really?
You said you had the phone and tablet there, so I just wanted to ask.
Yeah. No, I do not. I haven't had that on my phone in I don't know how long.
All right.
Used to play that a lot with the wife and that, and then, it got boring.
You guys ran out of words.
Pretty much. Yeah,
once you got the 4 letters.
Out of words. Yeah.
All right, Jeremy, what have you been up to?
Dirty words.
Not anything really new. I've been chipping away at Doom, like I mentioned last episode. I played a little bit of Warframe Sherpa the other day for AZ Rockslide. He was streaming on the Good for Gaming and doing the Extra Life thing, and so I offered to help him get a couple of the earlier items in that game. So that's just a fun game to go back to, even if you're over leveled for stuff, because you can still get resources and things that you'll need for yourself later. So it never really feels too much like a grind. And then, like you said, we started up Terrence Clandy's Ghostlands Wild Recon, whatever that thing is. That came in the mail the other day. So I'd played in the beta for it, and then the alpha, and just kind of skipped through the starting stuff. And then when I got it this time, I'm like, all right, I'm actually going to pay attention to the story and see what's going on. And there's an actual like story with characters and plot and everything in there. So I was impressed to see that. And I got maybe a couple hours in before we played together, because I just wanted to get a grasp of what was going on, so that way I didn't look foolish trying to get in boats and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna I'll stick with it. I mean, it's really kind of a nice cross between Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, and all the games that they make, except because you go into a little area, there's little icons that you need to collect stuff, and those make you stronger as a resource or something. And even if you didn't just play the main story, just kind of getting that Witcher itch where you go into an area and see all the icons and hit one by one by one by one until you clear out that spot and move on to the next one. It's kind of fun.
Nice. Now Doom has come out on the Switch now. It's getting decent reviews. I'm seeing like 7s to 8.5s. Eric, you already played Doom?
Yeah, I played Doom on the PlayStation.
Any desire to see what it looks like on the Switch, or are you good?
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I don't think, like, once I'm done with that, I'm that'll be uninstalled.
Yeah.
I don't see going back to that.
No. Anything else, Jeremy?
That's it.
All right, Eric, let's hear what you've been up to.
Man, because I got that Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands also. I got it for free, actually. So I'm gonna have to fire that up with you guys.
Oh yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah. But anyway, I've been playing some VR stuff. Hey, by the way, the VR is going to be $299. Y'all need to pick one up. You don't have one.
Is that a Black Friday thing, or is that
Now they're reducing the price to $299. I don't know if it's a Black Friday thing or not, but I know they're making it $299.
Yeah, I want that Skyrim one so bad.
Oh,
I know,
man.
right? I saw a guy playing that on YouTube. He played like 30 minutes of it. I was like, "Yep, that's bought."
Yeah, real quick. Sorry, is that like free walking, or is that the little teleport thing?
It's both. You can do free walking or the teleport. Either way.
Oh,
this is Skyrim VR you're talking about?
Yeah.
I'm hearing some people saying it is a terrible experience. Then I'm hearing other people saying it's great. So I'm curious. Are you going to pick it up?
Yeah, they said the demo build that they made for E3 and all that sucked. And then Bethesda listened to everybody, and they fine-tuned it, and it's silky smooth now, and it's awesome. That's what they say. So I'm going to pick it up and see as soon as it comes out. So.
We're going to have the first BFF holiday meeting at Eric's place. We're just all going to have to get drunk and then take 30 minutes each on the headset and see who can get the vibe.
Yeah, I'm in.
Come through. But I've been playing some VR stuff.
Get drunk.
They had VR Worlds 2 come out. The demo disc. PlayStation. It's on the PlayStation Store now, and it has a couple notable VR games that's supposed to be coming out in 2018. One is called Moss. It's about this little.
I hear
little
people
mouse.
rave about that.
Man, that thing is so beautiful in VR, man. It's a platformer.
Yeah,
and you do stuff to get the mouse through the levels and stuff. is very nice. And there's one called Star Child. It's like a freaking, what's that game? Back in the day when they had the Mother Brain. What was it called?
Mother Brain.
When they had what?
Mother Brain. I can't think of the damn. I know people are yelling at the damn fucking podcast. Metroid. It's like a Metroid game. Man, that took me a while to think of. To be 50, you don't think, man. But Star Child is supposed to be, I played the demo, and it looks fantastic. But these demos are really short on this VR Worlds 2. So they just give you a taste and get you all fired up. I think Sony's going to make a run for this VR here over the holidays. So we'll see.
What did you say? The price went down to $299 for the holiday?
Yeah.
Now, Jeremy, I know that you were into VR for various reasons, and you had the phone one, right?
Yeah, the Gear.
Yeah. What is your entry price if you ever wanted to get into it? Because now they're going to come out with a newer version. Is $299 still too rich for you? I mean, now you're throwing around money for these TVs, you know.
Yeah, it's just like because that money I saved by ordering it yesterday is just that's VR money now, right? That's how that works.
Yeah, that's how you rationalize everything.
I don't know because I was thinking about that since I saw that Skyrim one because I think the Skyrim edition, which is the headset, it's got the little hand, the motion controllers,
and the camera.
And the game, and it's like $350, I think $350 or $360, which I'm like, oh man. But then I'm like, I've also got a VR ready computer now, and then the Oculus Touch is down to $399.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't think I have either the $350 or the $400 to drop in either one of those right now. Just because I don't really have I've got enough stuff to play already, and it'd be nice to have that, but. It's getting closer, I'll say.
That's what I'm saying. I feel optimistic because in the past we've mentioned Switch, and you're like, nope. Xbox One X, nope. PS4 Pro, nope. I'm hearing VR. I heard it, guys. I heard a little wiggle in the voice. There was a little inflection.
It was the Skyrim that did
it. Might be twisting my arm.
It tickled my Skyrim taint just a little, like the right amount of pressure.
That's because he wants to play as one of those cat people.
How many versions of Skyrim do you have now?
I only own PC. No, I only own PC, but I have a lot of hours into it, and that's that is the game where at any point of any time of the year I can pick it up and just get lost in it. So it's
and especially in VR. Oh,
man,
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
so
saying.
fantastic.
I was on the fence about it because of the whole. That's why I asked about the movement. Because if it was that teleport thing, I think the combat would be too hard. But when you said that it was both, or that you could do the free roam, that got me in my feels.
Oh, no, I can tell.
Okay, so I did download Super Lucky's Tale. I don't know why though. I really don't know why. I downloaded it.
Well, not only did you download it, you had to pay it.
Yeah, it was $19, right?
Oh, it was on
and
sale.
I just did it. Yeah, it was. I don't know why I did that, but it's a platformer because on the PC, Super Lucky's Tale it's a VR game.
Yes. I don't know if it was called Super Lucky's Tale or if it was just called. It was called something else, I think.
Lucky's Tale, maybe.
Same
Tale,
character.
Maybe. Yeah. And I don't know. Well, anyway, it's okay. It's just okay. It's by no means a Mario. Let me say that up front. Not even close. But it's cute and it has a cute character in it, and it's cool, I guess. I'll finish it, but whatever. Yeah. And of course, more Overwatch, more Mario Odyssey. I'm at Bowser still. I haven't finished that yet. Almost like I don't want to finish it, but I hear once you finish it, some new stuff opens up. So I'm going to try to finish it on my days off this week.
I got to say that about Eric. He is big on finishing his games. You don't let games really sit around. You actually
I can't do that.
You fit them. Yeah.
You know why, Matt? Because I spend that $60 or whatever it may be, and I got to finish it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And real quick, I don't know. We need to have a shift because downloadable games cost more money than damn games that you buy in the store, and I don't understand that.
Well, the stores want to keep you around, right? I think they're afraid that you're not going to come in anymore, or they want you to buy the game and come in and buy other stuff, buy the knickknacks.
But I shouldn't have to pay for the packaging and the shipping and all that stuff. I can just download it. It should be a Call of Duty should be $35 downloadable and $60 in the store.
Well,
in the real world, that's how it should be.
I mean, Jeremy, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think if you had the Amazon Prime, you order Call of Duty, you get it for $47.99. They're hoping that you throw some kitty litter in there, that you get some socks, you get something else. Right. I'm going to order this.
We're sending you this box. What else do you want us to put in it?
Right. Yeah. I know, but damn. Anyway, the last game I played was Star Wars Battlefront on EA Access, and I'm loving it. And I was on the fence if I was going to buy it. I'm definitely buying it now.
No, you're going to get it for Xbox, right?
Yes.
Probably. Yeah. I already have a pre-order for the PS4 Pro, so that's what we'll be playing. But it did look good on the Xbox. No doubt.
Well, Eric, don't forget.
That might change my mind if you guys are going to play it on the PS.
Well, me and Jeremy already have it pre-ordered. I actually got a preload.
Yeah.
It already told me I could preload.
Mine shipped today.
Well, I'll probably do that.
But Eric, don't forget we we talked about last weekend or last episode. The future of games is purchasing a case that has a digital code in it. PUBG is going to set the new standard with that.
That is so ridiculous.
But it'll look good on your shelf, man.
Yeah.
I guess.
I was thinking about this the other day. What about if they go back to the days of PC games where you would buy the PC game on disc, you load it up, and then you wouldn't need that disc anymore. It would help people
DRM
that have.
thing, right?
That you can't do that because pirating would go out of control. You can't do that.
I'm just saying it would help with people in download caps and stuff like that. They install the game, and once the game's installed, it's done. You can't use it anywhere else.
Will that disc actually contain the download for the game, or did that disc just have like a handshake type thing, like you bought it, yep, and now you're pulling it down from a server somewhere?
No, you're installing the game off of the disc.
Okay.
Somehow or something.
So you're talking about real old school, like when you go buy like NHL 94 at Electronics Boutique.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And then I take that disc out and take it over to Matt's house and put it on his machine too.
No, you can't do it because you already put the code in. You already put the license in for my machine.
You're saying this one-time deal.
Yeah, it's one-time code. One-time, yeah.
Oh, but I had to format my hard drive.
Exactly.
I was on Chatterbait, and now my thing doesn't work anymore.
Just saying it could work, goddammit.
Anything else, Eric?
Nah, man, that's it for me, man.
All right. I don't really have much. I already talked about the Xbox One X. Fortnite, we're going to talk about it when we get to news, so we might as well go to the news right about now.
Really? Okay, do you hear what he just said? He just said, why don't you, for once in your life, just do the fucking news? All right, no, I'm going to do the fucking news. No, here is the fucking news.
That's right, you heard the man. Here is the news.
Paperboy.
I was waiting for someone to pick that up. Very good. Astute. Let's see. Notable releases. We already talked this week. Elder Scrolls, Skyrim VR is coming out. Hit your boy Glovebox up for impressions.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Awesome.
Oh, man.
When does it come out, Mike? When does it come out exactly?
I don't have the exact date, but this week.
Yeah.
The best I can give you. Either Tuesday or Friday.
All right, cool.
L.A. Noire is out this week for the PS4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. That's the 14th, so that'd be Tuesday.
Have you guys played that game before?
Played a little bit on the 360, yeah.
I played and completed that game. So much.
Isn't it huge on the Switch though, Mike? You got to buy like a.
Yeah, we covered that last week. Yeah, you gotta do all that crazy stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be picking this one up for the kiddo. Lego Marvel's Superheroes 2. Always a good time. And as we mentioned, Star Wars Battlefront 2 will be out as well. Everybody get their pew-pew action on. All right, we got a few news stories here before we wrap this up. Humvee is suing Activision. Now, Matt, you had a Humvee at one point, didn't you? It was terrible on gas, though, right?
It was horrible on gas. I get rid of it. Yeah, it was bad.
So basically, it looks like that these people are upset that they had some illegal trademark of Humvee military vehicles and reaped billions of dollars in revenue in doing so. So supposedly Humvee and Activision got together over the last year or so to try to privately talk this out and come to some agreement, and they didn't get anywhere. So now they're going public, Humvee is, and they're going to court, and they're trying to get a lot of money out of Activision. What do you think of that, Matt? You're the car guy here.
It seems like it's taking a while for them to get around to do this and that. I mean, I don't know. Did Humvee actually lose any money off of this? What
was the vehicle a few years ago that you could buy? Call of Duty was pimping something. It wasn't a Humvee. Was it a Jeep or something? I remember some girl.
Yeah, I think it was a Jeep, I think.
There was some girl back before Gamers in Beta, some of the OG hosts. We used to play with this girl, Get to the Chopper. That was her screen name. And she was excellent at Call of Duty and stuff like that. And I think she won the fucking Jeep they were giving away.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I see them every now and then. Got the Call of Duty little emblem on the side.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Moving on to Fortnite Battle Royale. So for a while there, before this update came out, Mark and myself, we would hide in bushes, and I got the appropriate nickname as a bush Wookie. And little did I know there was a phenomenon going out, and they have put out an update now where you take a potion and you turn yourself into a bush. All right, and the bush will last as long as it can, but if you take a shot, the bush goes away. So if you can, run and hide, sneak up on people and take people out, the bush will still stay active. As soon as someone shoots you, it goes away. So one of the very first things I did when I got the Xbox One X is I played Fortnite. I went through all the hoops of disconnecting my Captain Mike M on Xbox from my Epic account, created a new Epic account just for the Xbox because you can only have this Fortnite connected to one console. And you think when I got the Xbox One X, I would play something new or to see what the power was going to be. But no, I played Fortnite like usual. And the very first game, I was a Bush Wookie, and I won a solo match.
Wow.
I was working at the time. And so I was, doing my work, and then I'd see the circle move. I move my guy into the circle, hide in a bush, go back to my work. And then all of a sudden, I was like, this is getting serious. I'm doing a top 10 situation here. And then it was a top 3 situation, and these two guys built these elaborate forts. And they were duking it out, and one guy died, obviously. And the other guy's fort was caught outside the circle. So he had to jump down and go into a bush. He wasn't going to be a bush Wookie. He was just going into the bush, and I had the beat on him. And I pulled out the scar, and I lit him up, and it was a great feeling to one match and win solo. I was like, yes! That's when you're supposed to delete it off the hard drive, right, Jeremy? You win?
Yes. Yeah, you're done.
That's the rule. But yeah, I think it's a interesting concept. I think partly it could break the game, but I also think it's the great equalizer. There's a lot of guys who are great at building, and I am not. But I can hide like a motherfucker. Give me a bush and let me hide in that. I think
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Hey, is it? I'm gonna ask all of y'all. Do y'all like one over the other? Do you like PUBG over Fortnite more, or what is it?
I would personally like PUBG better if I was better at it. I like Fortnite because it's just more accessible. You can jump in. It's a little, obviously it's cartoony. It's got controller support on the consoles right away. So it's just more familiar and easier for me to jump in. But if I could pick one that I could play and be really good at, I'd pick the PUBG. I think that's a more compelling experience. What do you guys think?
I like Fortnite a little bit more just because I do better at that game. I see the other players easier, so it's kind of my preferred thing. But they both got their pluses and minuses. PUBG is a more realistic type of game out there, but I put my hat in Fortnite.
Yeah,
obviously we know.
Well, I'm more
hater.
PUBG, but because I agree with everything both of you say. I think Fortnite is much more accessible. I've definitely had more kills in Fortnite in the few times I played it than I have in PUBG. But I think it's the challenge of PUBG that makes me like it more because, the idea that we've been playing that for 5 months now and we've never once any of us either together or solo have won, whereas Mike, you've won in Fortnite several times just in it's been out a little over a month. I like the idea of always attaining for that prize, and like you said, I honestly think that if I ever got that chicken dinner, I might. If not, just take a break. I might actually uninstall that for a good while, just to finally have it reach that achievement. It's so and it like PUBG will make my heart race. It'll get me excited, and I haven't really had that experience in Fortnite yet because I think it is so. It's like PUBG with Benny Hill playing in the background all the time.
Yeah,
it's kind of got that.
Likes it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you'll be picking up PUBG on the Xbox?
No, I won't.
All right.
There's nothing about that like trying to do all that with a controller. I don't see that as an experience I want to try and do.
All right. Well, there's going to be another game coming into the Battle Royale genre. If you guys remember Warface, this was the game from Crytek on the Cry engine. This was on the consoles, I think, from 2003 to 2015. They removed it from consoles. That's how well it did. But it is a free-to-play game, Jeremy, on PC. And I guess there's still an active community. They're going to be rolling out a limited experience, like a beta, for Battle Royale for Warface. And I understand it's not going to be 100 people, maybe somewhere in the 16 to 24 player region. And it's only going to be out for a limited time. They're going to go back and then take the feedback that they learned, and then they're going to come back with it with a more finished product. So by the end of the year, they'll have this limited Battle Royale out on PC. So if anybody likes the free-to-play games and likes CryEngine, Crytek games, be on the lookout for Warface's Battle Royale. PlayStation news here. I guess Xbox One as well. Destiny 2 is getting a Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 Pro update. And that's going to be out on December 5th. Am I the only one here with Destiny 2? Oh, you have it, Eric, right?
Yeah, I have it. Yeah.
And you have it on the Pro, right? PS4?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
this is a graphics update.
Yes,
update
exactly.
for the new thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So many people felt like, why didn't this come out on the Xbox One X? You know, why weren't they releasing this day and date on the Xbox One X? And they felt like, well, they got this marketing deal with PlayStation, so they're not going to have an inferior version on a system that they don't have the marketing deal with. But this is how they're addressing it. Both systems are getting their update on the same day. So that will please some people. Jeremy, I'm going to rely on you here to help me out with this, but Warframe's new update is coming out to consoles November 14th. Your excitement level?
Probably not as high as it should be. Just because I haven't even tried out that content on PC yet. You don't need to have. It's not like end game completely. At least the area isn't. There's some end game content in the area, but it's just a big open world map with lots of stuff to do, from killing things to exploring and even fishing. So they just keep adding and adding and adding stuff to that game, and eventually everyone's going to find something they like in that game, because it's gonna have a little bit of everything, I think.
And it's it's out Tuesday, November 14th. And so if I wanted to jump into that, you think it would just be completely over my head, just like level wise?
No, it's like on the second or third planet that you open up, and planets are basically just like regions or whatever, or maybe like neighborhoods in the Division. Like you had to go from one little area to the other. So I would say that if you started off brand new to the game, that you could probably get to that location within 5 hours, maybe 6 playtime.
All right.
Not a lot.
And last bit of news here is around Nintendo. A very quick news item here, but they're slowly rolling out streaming services, and the first service to hit the Switch is Hulu. So anybody who enjoys that, Matt, right? You got a Switch now? You can watch some Hulu on your Nintendo Switch.
As far as Hulu beat out Netflix.
Yeah.
Usually Netflix is the first thing to come with all these things.
That's probably more red
Hold
tape
on, let's go back.
Yes, sir.
Matt, you got a Switch?
No.
I do not.
He's going to let that slide.
I'm just trying to sell it on him.
Yeah. He's saying when I do get my Switch, if I ever get a Switch. No.
Okay.
And the last bit of news here is Zelda Breath of the Wild received a large update this week. One of the main features is they released 4 new amiibos. So there is amiibo support for these, what are they called? The champions. So guys like Daruk and Rivali and other people like that you encountered through the game. They've now made amiibos for them, and you can use them, and you get special, outfits and things like that. There's also a Xenoblade outfit that you can wear in the game too. So I totally forgot that I ordered these amiibos, right? I got this box that showed up on Friday. I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm going to get my ass reamed out for spending all this money. I open it up, and there's 4 fucking Zelda amiibos.
Oh, nice.
So it looks like I am jumping back into Zelda this week to try out these amiibos. Got to get my money's worth, right, Glovebox?
That's right.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
So that's all the news for this week, guys. I think we'll have more impressions on the Xbox One X as the weeks go by. Looking forward to playing some single-player stuff on there, but more importantly this week it's Star Wars Battlefront 2 and more Call of Duty with the fellas.
And Skyrim VR.
Yes, we'll hear from Eric next week if it made him sick or not.
I'm looking forward to that.
If he sees
probably.
if he sees some Ohio white guy out on the glass looking in his window, let me in.
White.
Yeah, very white. All right. Anybody have any shout outs, comments? Matt, you want to go first? We know you got to get to bed first.
Yeah, getting close to my bedtime. Shout out to all you guys on the show here tonight, and BFF forever, and to our streaming channels and all that, and everyone that participates in the podcast, leaving voicemails and questions and so forth. And that is really awesome to hear that and get that feedback and interaction and stuff. So thanks a lot, all you guys, for all that stuff.
Excellent, Jeremy.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback off of Matt there because, just taking a look at, obviously the show's still kind of evolving, but if you take a look at the first at least hour was listener feedback or something listener related. So always good to have that interaction, that communication, and just keep stroking our egos, and we'll keep stroking something else.
Oh, Bush Wookiees.
Bush
Wookiees.
We're going to stroke Bush Wookiees. Okay.
Eric, how about yourself?
I want to shout out you guys for streaming the other night because I quite enjoyed that. Shout out Fred French for always sending us those awesome voicemails because Fred French is an internet celebrity. He is internet icon, and Meef J, of course, because he's my dude.
Very nice. So, a lot of the same things that everybody just said. Thanks for the participation. Thanks for those people that left reviews on iTunes. Don't stop. Just because I'm not giving out prizes anymore, it doesn't mean you can't, out of the goodness of your heart, leave a message on there for us. We'd appreciate that. That helps us move things along. And Jeremy has promised if we get 100 reviews on there that he will not open a Patreon, that the show will remain free. So,
free.
Yeah. So in order to keep this show free, please leave reviews on iTunes, okay?
Although if we do have a Patreon, that could be levels to see pics of Matt's toe. So,
Oh, my.
There you go.
And that could pay for his copay to fix it.
Yeah.
His copay. Ugh.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so
offset cost.
If anybody wants to leave a message on toe maintenance, tips, if anybody, 508-659-BFFS.
Oh, no.
Maybe we have to open up a separate line that just ends TOES. Matt's Toe Hotline.
Matt's Toe's Twitter.
Matt needs, you know what you need to do, Matt? You need to, have a multi-cam setup and just have one cam just zoomed in on the toe.
This is how we're getting our Frito sponsorship, right?
Just the toe cam. Has Matt's toe changed today?
Yeah, exactly. And if you have if you're in a tense situation like in Call of Duty, does it turn colors?
It's like a mood ring.
Yeah. You remember those cars that were all the rage for a while that you could drive around and how the sun looked on them, they changed colors?
Yeah. From purple to green.
That's like Matt's toe.
That's crazy.
So if people want to join in and participate on Discord, tiny.cc/BFFS, join our Discord, have fun. And other than that, thanks everybody. Keep listening. I think what is encouraging for me is our numbers are almost similar to how many followers we have in various social media places. So it seems like 100% of people following us listen, so that's great. We'd love to get more, so tell your friends and things like that, and the show will get bigger and better. Just a little baby of a podcast right now.
We're getting there.
So we got 6 people. All right.
Yeah, 6 listeners.
Yay.
Yay. All right, that's been episode 3 of Bad Fodder Figures. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Oh, that's great.